Okay, so the other day was April 1st, and Hasbro brought something interesting to our attention. And that was a promo for a new series spun off from My Little Pony called Apple Bloomers. The premise of this series is that Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo are going to become furry anthropomorphized magical girls, and they're going to go on magical adventures fighting evil and stuff. Now, while this could be very easily dismissed as an April Fool's prank and nothing more, it could also turn out to be a legitimate series that they're actually trying to get off the ground, and that could be something rather interesting. Here's the question of today's topic. How do you feel about Apple Bloomers becoming a legitimate series? Would you watch it? Would you not watch it? Do you like the idea of the pony characters being turned into furry anthropomorphized magical characters? Or do you prefer them as humans going to high school? Or do you prefer them as ponies? An interesting thing to consider is that when Equestria Girls came out, some of the biggest complaints was that fans wanted the characters to be depicted as furries with pony ears and pony tails constantly throughout the showing of the movie, as opposed to only during the climax when they're powered up by the magic of friendship. Additionally, people didn't like the idea of the ponies going to high school and wanted them to go on magical fantasy adventures and have more action in the story, considering high school to be a boring location. And people wanted the characters to be full-on furries instead of being humans, because humans are apparently a boring species. Just as high school's a boring location, and slice of life is a boring genre. At least according to some fans who had to raise issue with Equestria Girls. It seems just as Equestria Girls was Hasbro giving us something we wanted based on our popular fan art, so too is Apple Bloomers. This is a concept that was originally depicted in our fan art, and now it's becoming a reality. Power Ponies was the same way. A lot of people drew the main six as superheroes, and then we got Power Ponies. So it seems like Hasbro has noticed our fan art, and they're doing ideas based on what the fans want. So that brings us to the question, is Apple Bloomers something that the fans want? Looking at what they showed in the promo, it really would be a bold new direction for My Little Pony. Possibly even a controversial one, as even the promo itself, you're watching it and you feel like this is no longer a kid's show as you're watching what they're showing in the previews. It feels like the show is trying to target teens as opposed to targeting younger kids, which could be perfectly fine. Some of you might be all up in My Little Pony must remain for children, no matter what. But some of you might be all on the side of, you know what, this show has appeal to everyone regardless of age. It's about time we got something with a little more action and a little more teen appeal. Some of you probably even want the adult appeal to come into My Little Pony, but who knows? At this point, who knows? The thing of it is, this series could have an audience. I'm wondering how many of you are on the side of this being a real thing, and how many of you are out there saying, please let this just be an April Fool's prank. Now, here's some other things to think about. Is this an April Fool's prank? A highly elaborate, put forth actual animation effort into creating this April Fool's prank? Or is this a legitimate new series that is indeed definitely coming at the end of April? Only time will tell, but here are some things to look out for in the meantime. 1. Will there be a press release, a post on Twitter, Facebook, or some other social media, or an announcement at one of the upcoming conventions like BabsCon, where official members of the staff will confirm whether or not Apple Bloomers is to be a series or whether or not it was just a joke. Number 2, Hasbro will probably be monitoring the fan reaction to this. If we want it bad enough, it could actually happen, even though its original intent was for it to not happen. Number 3, keep your eyes on the Hasbro TV network. Will this promo run again? Will other promos for this idea run again? If they do, that could back up the possibility of the series actually happening. And the 4th thing is, watch for the end of April. Will this sequence happen in canon on the My Little Pony series, or will it happen as the actual promised show that we're getting down the line? This may not be a series. This may be a dream sequence that Apple Bloom has as part of her nightmare episode. This could be a really weird, unusual fantasy sequence going on in canon. Let's say Apple Bloom is talking to Twilight about the mirror to the other world, and she asks her to tell her about her adventures in Canterlot High with the humans. But Apple Bloom doesn't know what humans look like, so her imagination conjures up these anthropomorphized furry characters, and Apple Bloomers could be in Apple Bloom's imagination, which makes sense because her and her friends are the main characters of the story, the central focus. It also makes sense that if you didn't know what a human was, that your imagination would apply familiar features of your own species to the two-legged creatures with the strange fins that they have instead of hooves. Or this could actually be a new series. Or it could be just a prank. We won't know until we get to April 31st, the promised release date. If that date comes, and like so many promises of an Equestria Girls series, we get nothing, like we still have no Equestria Girls series, this could become a major fan work project. No matter what happens, Apple Bloomers is in the hearts and minds of the fans. Fan work for it is already up as of the day this came out, already up on DeviantArt. I was able to go into Google Images, type in Apple Bloomers, just hours after seeing this thing appear on YouTube, and Apple Bloomers fan art was already up on DeviantArt. That means we are weeks, months I am going to say months, not years, months away from getting an Apple Bloomers fan animation, fan PMV, fan fiction reading, fan SFM, fan video game, fan something that the fan community will make with their own creative talents, whether it is something like My Little Investigators, or something like the Button Mash Adventures, or something like Flufflepuff, or something I can't even fathom in my own ramblings. The fans will make, if Hasbro does not pick it up, the fans will make, even if Hasbro does do it, the fans will make something Apple Bloomers related. I promise you this right here and now. Before the year 2016, we will have an Apple Bloomers fan-related project in production, and it will have a huge audience. There will be plot, there will be animation, there will be voice acting. We will see more Apple Bloomers content from either Hasbro or the fandom before 2016. With the points that have been on my mind, spoken out loud, edited and uploaded for your amusement, tell me in the comments section below what you think of this whole Apple Bloomers thing. Thank you for watching, and good night.